Welcome to June on Pizzari Basketball, 4 days into the month. Not a bad time to have our first video. I've been teasing this one for a really long time. Finally, we're going to do it. We're going to build the Toronto Raptors in 1 year on NBA 2K24, and it's going to be great. Now, this is not going to be happening live. I did this already. It took 3 hours, 3.5 hours. I'm one of those people who like to explore all options. I've condensed it down to about 45 minutes, and hopefully we can get this entire video in about an hour. Okay, so first, a few ground rules and just a little bit of a preamble. I've been talking for months about how the Toronto Raptors were a lot closer to being good than they are to tanking and being really bad. So I fired up NBA 2K in MyGM mode to prove it. And just a heads up, I've been doing this for about 24 years. One might say it is the thing that I am the best at. I have spent countless hours simulating years and years of NBA 2K16, 17, 14. It's a great way to learn a lot about the league, but also I think it's really cool. It's just fun. It's fun for me. I enjoy that part of NBA 2K than pretty much any other part of NBA 2K. So in just one full season, starting at the 2024 draft, I'm going to take you through a mostly realistic pathway for the Toronto Raptors becoming really good really quickly. Okay, so some ground rules. I am not Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster in the simulation. I am myself. My management style can be mostly described as chaotic and very bottom line. I don't mind making 17 trades in a single season. My goal is to accumulate assets basically and to win trades and to find distressed assets on teams that are looking to free up cap space. I'm not patient. If anything, I'm impulsive to a fault. Second, I'm probably going to trade your favorite player. Just a forewarning. Or your second favorite player. I'm definitely going to trade your third favorite player. I'm trying to build a winner without gutting the future. Okay. So as much as I love RJ Barrett, Kelly Olynyk, Emmanuel Quickly, if the right deal comes along, they're gone. Third, my goal is championships multiple. There will be no win now moves. There will be no trading 4 picks for Kevin Durant. There's nothing like that coming down the pipeline, I promise. Also, I won't play games in the playoffs or in the regular season. I will run a simulation, and the only exception is in the last 5 to 6 minutes, if the game is somewhat close, I'll jump in, and then we can just cheer along together and see if the improbable happens. Okay. All right, let's get to it. Okay, so we're going to start at the 2024 draft, and we're just, yeah, it's pretty realistic. This took some work, I'm not going to lie. And by the way, Noble Venom, thanks a lot for the super chat, man. I really appreciate it. And who knows, maybe I end up trading RJ Barrett for Lauri as well. Just a hint, I won't. So here, virtual Rob is just doing all his, pre-draft work. And again, this is a mostly realistic. We don't know what's going to happen on draft night. Everyone says, "Oh my God, it's crazy that Ron Holland is, this low or whatever." But these guys are. This is just a mock draft. Early in the process, once these guys go through pre-draft, all of this is going to be worked out. And these are just players that I'm interested in. And again, there are no superstars in this draft, so I'm looking at role players. I'm looking at guys who have a chance to fit in and do something in year 1 or year 2 and be positive value adds. Because if I'm carrying a roster spot for a guy I don't project to be an all-star, then I want something from you. I want you to be a utility guy. I want you to be a specialist. I want you to be a guy who can grab rebounds or, plug in 5 minutes in a tough situation where I lose my center to injury and my second, my backup center to foul trouble. I need to have that. Okay. So my first order of business is to trade Bruce Brown. So I'm canvassing the entire league to figure out how to do that. But my other order of business is to actually move up in this draft. Now, despite my protesting that I don't really care about the top of this draft, I have a feeling that someone's going to slip. In a draft this flat, I have a feeling someone's going to slip, and there's going to be some positives to having like the 10th, 8th, 11th pick. And I want one of those picks. So I'm just doing everything I can here to find something. And what I've done to make this really easy to follow is when a trade or a draft pick or a transaction is about to happen, you're going to see the entire screen turn green. And then we can pause and evaluate. Okay. So Tetrahedron saying, "No, Bruce, I really liked him. I know he sucked for us, but weirdly kind of like him. Well, if you watched my video on fair valuation, you'll understand that if the Raptors pick up Bruce Brown's $23 million contract, which they have in this variation of reality, he's like 300% overpaid. I have no interest in keeping Bruce Brown or Chris Boucher for that matter. So just playing around with various options here, and this is what I do. Like when I'm doing this, I'll explore every single option like 400 times. And here we go. So we are trading Bruce Brown and Chris Boucher for a 2028. Okay, let's just see here. A 2025 first round pick from Utah, and a 2025 first round LA Clippers swap. Okay. Now, I can already hear the boo birds. There's no chance in hell that Utah is going to absorb this, these two expiring contracts into their salary. But we don't know why they need them. We don't know what bigger trade they might want these assets for if they maybe want to get off those draft picks. I'll agree, though, that there are a couple of trades that happen here where I'm just like scratching my head, like, why would OKC do this? Why would Utah do this? Honestly, Chris Boucher couldn't fetch the Raptors a first round pick at last year's trade deadline. Maybe he can as a first round pick. So let's see. Let's see if this goes through. Does it go through? I believe it does go through. Go through, damn it. Am I thinking about this? Sorry, Virtual Rob had to think about this for a second. Like, wait, do I want first round picks? Okay. Now it's time to shop Jakob Poeltl. And this might stress a lot of people out, but I am not Masai Ujiri. I'm not Bobby Webster. I don't give a shit that this guy eats cereal. I want his contract off my books. I basically want to take as much cap flexibility into free agency as humanly possible because I have an inclination that I might be able to sign 1, 2, or 3 interesting free agents. And I'm going to take players that I think have positive winning value and send them off to teams that maybe have the cap space to absorb them, that would take them, or maybe get a draft pick or two. So here I'm exploring all options, and I'm just I just think Jakob Poeltl presents a really difficult. And here we go. Okay, so here I am dangling the 24th and 20. I want the 24th and 25th pick from the New York Knicks. The Knicks don't want to pay those players because it's just they're a contending team. They think they got to pay OG Anunoby, so they'd rather get off those picks. Now, here's the confusing part. They end up settling for an offer that I was really surprised that they settled for, but they settled for it, and that's on them. They take Jalen McDaniels and a second round pick for 2 late firsts. Now, please understand this draft is weak. Even in the computer, it is weak. It is pretty realistically simmed. If the Knicks don't want these picks and other teams don't want these picks, maybe this is what the Knicks thought these were worth. I doubt in reality this would happen, but the reality is 2K Jalen McDaniels is the hypothetical Jalen McDaniels that we thought we were signing. If I could adjust his rating in this game, he'd be like a 52 and he would have 0 trade value. But 2K trade value is different. So, bam, Jalen McDaniels gets traded for 2 late first round picks. And now the Toronto Raptors have 4 picks. So we're kind of close to having as many picks as we initially had at the trade deadline last year before we conveyed our San Antonio pick. So now I want to turn around and I want to deal these 2 picks because I also have no interest in paying for these players. And I want to see with my cap space what I could possibly absorb into that cap space. And I'm finding that these 2 picks are not worth a hell of a lot. I'm trying here to trade up in the draft, trying to see maybe, given how flat the draft is, maybe some GM out there might see the value of having 2 picks in the 20s, but I'm not really getting any bites on this. So now I'm adding more. So here, in order to get the Bulls lottery pick, which is a late lottery pick, is an 11th pick, I am trading to the New York pick, 2024 New York pick, 2024 Dallas pick, a 2027 unprotected second, a 2026 unprotected second from Toronto, and they still say no. So I am giving them my best offer, and I'm going to give them Javon Freeman Liberty back. I know the Bulls like Javon Freeman Liberty. They were kind of bummed they lost him from the Windy City Bulls. I think he was pretty positive for the Raptors last year relative to how well other players played. So Javon Freeman Liberty, you are going back to the Chicago Bulls, and we now have the 10th overall pick. 10th or 11th? I can't remember here. 11th. We have the 11th pick now. Okay, now I want to dangle the 11th pick and Jakob Poeltl and see what I can get. And oh my God, I knew the New Orleans Pelicans were FS saying why the green screen. Green screen is every single time a deal actually gets made so that you can focus in and be like honing in, okay, that's a transaction that actually happened. Okay. So I'm just floating around. There's a lot of options here. Bogdanovich and Clint Capella, John Collins and Jordan Clarkson. I'm not interested in these players. Mitchell Robinson, another center who can't shoot, although he's, protecting the rim, and I like that. I already have Jakob Poeltl. So, I really don't want to get rid of that 2025 or 2026 first rounder for Toronto. So those are two picks that I really want to hold on to. So you got to give something to get something. I really thought about this. I like Jarris Walker and Isaiah Jackson a lot, but I'm looking to be good next year, and Jarris Walker's probably a few years away. So I'm going to do what I wish the real life Toronto Raptors would do, and I'm going to trade for Trey Murphy III. And I'm going to do that largely because I think he fits with Scotty. Like, he fits with Scotty so well, and I think Larry Nance fits in pretty well as well. He's a guy who can shoot. He's a pretty versatile defender, and he's an athlete. You know what I want? I want athletes with Scotty Barnes. I want athletes. I want transition terrors. If trading for RJ Barrett taught me anything, it's that athletes work in Darko's system. So I want smart players who, frankly, can move. And here we go. Boom. We're going to do it. Trey Murphy III and Larry Nance Jr. for Jakob Poeltl and the 11th overall pick. Does this end up being the trade? I think so. Yes. The trade includes players. Don't care. Boom. They agree. Is this really enough for Murph and Nance, though? So here's the thing. I don't know. There are a few things that I proposed to the computer, and I was like, this has to get it done. And the computer's just like, no. Like, for instance, I tried to trade for Bilal Coulibaly. Okay. I really wanted to trade for Bilal Coulibaly, not in this simulation, but in another simulation. I tried to trade for Bilal Coulibaly. I offered 2 first round picks and like another young player, and they still said no. You know what I mean? Like, I think I offered 3 first round picks. I also included the Indiana Pacers pick, and they said no. So sometimes the computer is unreasonable. Sometimes the computer is willing to offer you Rudy Gobert for Jakob Poeltl because they need cap space. So Deke's saying the only way the Raptors can be good is 2K logic. I disagree. And I'll point to something. Lauri Markkanen isn't Lauri Markkanen until he became Lauri Markkanen. With the Cleveland Cavaliers, Lauri Markkanen was a 5th option and a kind of like washout from the Bulls. And will it work? Will it not? Now he's an all-star. We're talking about him totally differently. Don't be surprised if next year we might be talking about RJ Barrett totally differently, because you know what I mean? Like, reputations change, right? Like, you might see Desmond Bane as a future all-star, but someone 3-4 years ago saw him as barely worth a first round pick. You know what I mean? So reputations do change over time. I've always felt like, right, sometimes you put a player in a better situation and they end up like raising their value. RJ Barrett is a great example of a guy who didn't really fit with New York, but he was much better in Toronto. Now here I am trying to trade him. But the whole point is like making players better in your system allows other teams to make moves for them. Like right now, Andrew Wiggins has 0 trade value. But after the 2022 finals, Andrew Wiggins had so much trade value. Now here, the OKC Thunder inexplicably are willing to offer me Kason Wallace and a 2nd round pick for RJ Barrett. A deal that signals to me that they want to be better next year and they are comfortable with Lou Dort and they want to absorb RJ into their cap space. This actually makes a lot of sense. They're already really, really Canadian team. They already have Shea. Maybe seeing Shea and RJ, maybe they want to replace Josh Giddey. And I think RJ would help a lot, to be honest, because, if he can continue shooting the way he was, Nick laughs saying RJ is also on a great deal. That's debatable. I think his deal is okay. It's not great. It's not a steal. It's not Herb Jones, but I don't think it's that bad. And yeah, if we're asking like who's going to help you win more next year, probably RJ Barrett. relative to Kason Wallace, probably RJ Barrett. And I think RJ fits with with a spacing big like Chet Holmgren. I mean, especially if you're slotting him in for Josh Giddey. Yeah, I think he's young enough to grow with that core. I think this deal makes sense for them. Um, I, of course, want the cap space. RJ makes $24 million. Kason Wallace is on a rookie deal. I'm going to take Kason Wallace and run. So this deal is 100% yes from me. And sorry to say, by RJ Barrett. As you're seeing, I've already traded a lot of the team. Okay, so now I still want that 10th overall pick from Utah, and I'm willing to give up quite a bit to get it. So here I'm going to give the Utah Jazz a 2025 LA Clippers swap that I just got. I'm going to give them the Indiana first round pick from 2026 that I got from the Pascal Siakam trade. And I'm going to give them the 2024 Detroit second rounder, but I'm actually going to remove the 2020. I'm going to remove the Detroit second rounder, so don't worry about that. I'm just going to remove it right now. Don't worry. I was just like, no, this is overpay. Give me first round picks, remove it. Okay. So there we go. Boom. Done. And I am just going to go 2-for-1 here. Yes, I traded away hypothetical future value. Yes, there's a chance that 2026 Indiana pick is like in the teens. It's possible if Pascal Siakam and Tyrese Halliburton don't work. It's also possible that the 2026 first round pick is a 26th pick or a 25th pick if Indiana ascends. So I'm willing to roll the dice and say that I think there will be some value in the top of the lottery or at the bottom of the lottery in this draft, kind of in that Grady Dick range from last year, where I'm willing to go through. So here, we're starting the draft now. This is dun 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 dun, whatever. The NBA draft is now starting. The Atlanta Hawks are on the clock, and they want to trade the first round. They want to trade their first overall pick for Scotty Barnes and Clint Capella. So they want to trade me the first round pick. They want to trade me the first overall pick, which I would personally probably use for Zachary Risachet and Clint Capella for Scotty Barnes. Okay. Is this a deal I actually take? No, man, get that garbage out of here. Are you kidding me? Scotty Barnes, like move him to the untouchable list, bro. Okay, so the Atlanta Hawks take Zachary Risachet. Number 2, Alexander Sarr. Yep. Now, here, I'm just hoping, personally, Nikola Topic falls. That's all I want. That's why I traded for that, 10th, 11th pick. Stephon Castle. So far, the draft is going very close to what I think is going to happen. Donovan Clingan. I don't know what the hell Detroit is doing drafting Donovan Clingan with Jalen Duren already there, but good luck. Cody Williams. I think this is high for Cody Williams personally. Zach Edey. Holy shit. I mean, the Charlotte Hornets would, huh? This is really high for Zach Edey, but hey, college player of the year, 2 years running. Maybe he ends up surprising. I knew there was some buzz about Zach Edey. Now, there's another player that I'm really hoping drops to 19, and that is Yves Missi. I really like Yves Missi a lot more than I like Deron Holmes or whatever. Yeah. My pick is getting traded. San Antonio has traded away our pick. And okay. Yves Missi goes number 8. Bobby Klintman goes number 9. That's really high. Okay. Now, I have a whole bunch of trade offers for this pick, the 10th pick. Bobby Portis, no thank you. Vucevic, no thank you. Karis LeVert, Max Strus, no thanks. Peyton Pritchard, Jordan Walsh, no thanks. Gigi Jackson and Vince Williams. This is tempting, but they want that 2025 first round pick, and I'm not giving that. I'm really tempted here, though. I am, because I love Vince Williams, and I think Gigi Jackson was phenomenal. Now this is also like, no, not this one. Is there another deal here that kind of makes sense? So if I was a little bit higher on Jet Howard as a prospect, I'd probably go with this. But I'm not high on Jet Howard as a prospect. Aaron Nesmith, this was tempting too, but again, they want my 2025. Tetrahedron, can you counter in 2K? Yes, you can. Isaiah Stewart, nope. I don't want to give that up. Now this is tempting as hell. Y'all know I love Jordan Hawkins, but Jordan Hawkins plus Grady Dick, I feel is too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. And I think that they're pretty comparable players. I mean, I'm not saying they can't play together. I'm just saying I prefer not to. This was wild too. Now, again, very tempted to do this, but I just cannot see a world in which I would want to pair a player like Scotty Barnes with a player like Rudy Gobert. Not personally, not as a player, not in 2K, not in real life. Just can't do it. Not going to be able to do it. Um, this is tempting as a complete win now move, but Chris Paul is way overpaid. There goes my cap space. Everything I worked for. If these guys were on reasonable deals, like mid-level exception types, these would be phenomenal players. But I can't do this. Marvin Bagley, are these guys crazy? No, I definitely have to take. I have to just use this pick. The player that I wanted to drop to 10 has dropped to 10. So the Toronto Raptors, with the 10th overall pick, the Toronto Raptors are clearly going to draft Rob Dillingham. No, it's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. It's going to be Nikola Topic, man. So, Nikola Topic is a Toronto Raptor. Holla freaking Luya. Okay, moving on. Jared McCain, Ron Holland, Salon, Dalton Connect. Rob Dillingham slips to 15. I guess people got a little bit worried about his defense and his lack of. Devin Carter slips a little bit relative to where a lot of people have him. Now, got to look at some picks for 19. Now, I really am tempted to trade for Vince Williams. I mean, he's on a really, really reasonable contract. There's no chance in hell the 19th player is going to be better than Vince Williams. But I'm just going to go with it. Like, let's play out the options here. Also, kind of tempting to go for Mo Wagner. You know, like I think he's a really good player. Kleber and Exum would be like two role players. I just don't believe in trading first rounders for role players. Sorry, Masai Ujiri, no offense. Okay, so I'm gonna pick a player. Am I gonna pick a player really for sure? I thought I traded this pick. Now I can't believe I passed on Mattis Bazelis here. I really can't. And honestly, if I could do this again, I wouldn't pass. I wouldn't pass on Mattis Bazelis. And you know, just a little heads up. I actually passed on the rookie of the year here. The guy who ends up winning rookie of the year, I passed on him here. So I'm still looking for trades here. And I end up making this move. I end up trading for Shake Milton and a New York's 2025 top 3 protected first round pick. I don't know why I did this. I just got to a point where I'm like, I don't know if I can't get something more valuable at 31 than I can get here, and probably try to take another pick. I think this draft is weirdly deep in the second round, and there's a lot of players that I really like in that like 29 to 35, 38 range. And I'm kind of banking that one or two of them are going to fall past 40. Modest Gonzalez goes at 25. He's the biggest slipper of the draft, and I don't know why he fell. Isaiah Collier also fell heavy. Flowers falls as well. Deron Holmes is one of the guys that I really wanted to fall to 31, so I am bummed out. Okay, let's see. Who am I going to go with at 31? Okay, gotta evaluate all the trades here. Not really seeing anything that I like, and trying to trade me Javon Freeman Liberty back. I don't really like that either. So here, I think I'm just going to use the pick, right? I'm just going to use the pick, and I'm going to pick the best player available. And I have a feeling, you know, as much as his defense kind of worries me and where 2K has him ranked right now worries me, I think the shooting upside is real. The playmaking upside is real. I thought about Jameer Watkins here. I can think about it. I can think about Isaiah Crawford, but maybe not this high. But really, a lot of the really good players have already gone off the board. And frankly, it would be really, really hard to not go with Pacom or Tristan da Silva here. And I'm going to go with Tristan da Silva. Again, Pacom might be the longer upside pick, but at this place in the draft, I just want a two-way guy who can give me something. A lot of people compared him to Keegan Murray. I'm not sure I see Keegan Murray in him, but he is that type of large, lengthy 3-4 type who can shoot the ball, like really shoot. And if his shooting pops and his playmaking is already there, my only concern really with him is defense. All right. Now, another trade, I am trading for the 48th overall pick. So y'all can see the screen hopefully here. So um, the 2026 second round Dallas swap that I traded for and the 2026 pick. And boom, I got Tristan Silva and also got the 48th pick. So boom. Okay. A lot of Mark Sears has so Ryan Dunn, defensive prospect, he goes off. Peckham goes off, and I'm just going to fast forward to the pick, and boom, here we are at 48. And honestly, again, if this is real life, I really am tempted to take Johnny Furphy. I think a lot of people would probably want me to take Ulrich or Jameer Watkins here, but I'm really high on Isaiah Crawford, and I feel like, with all the players I have on my team, I really want to develop a defensive prospect in the G League next year, like on a two-way contract. So I'm going to go with Isaiah Crawford here. So the Toronto Raptors draft with the 40th overall pick, Isaiah Crawford. Boom. And I don't believe that I'm going to draft anybody else. So, and, Johnny Furphy, he goes all the way at the end of the first round. A lot of concerns about his shooting, fewer concerns about his shooting, a lot more concerns about his physicality and defense, adjusting to the NBA level, athleticism as well. So there we go. Okay. Now it's time to make more trades and to make some big and very key free agency decisions. So in terms of team options, it's only going to be one. It's going to be Ochai Agbaji. He's the only guy that's under my control, and I'm going to extend that option, and I'm going to trade him very soon. Okay, qualifying offers. That's going to be, of course, that's going to be Emmanuel Quickly. So now it's time to find some trades. Okay, let's do this. So I think Kelly Olynyk and Ochai Agbaji. I'm going to try to package this Jazz pick. The two guys that we got from the Jazz, and I'm going to try to see what I can get for them. So obviously, the league is not willing to offer up a hell of a lot for either of these players. Jet Howard keeps coming up in trades, which is interesting. Harrison Barnes, Nikola Jovic, and Duncan Robinson. This one had me thinking for a bit here. I mean, I really like the idea of pairing Jovic and Topic in the second unit just because they're familiar with each other. They've played on the same teams. They definitely do know each other. Having them to kind of grow together, and Duncan Robinson's expiring contract, $19 million. That's not the worst. And if it doesn't work out with Duncan, if the defense is too big, but I thought to myself, Duncan could be like a good mentor for Grady. So there's a lot of advantages to doing that. But again, if I just want a mentor for Grady, I could easily just have Kelly Olynyk, plus he's Canadian. So I am going to make a pass on this trade. But is there a trade here that really does work for them? And, again, like I think I'm just going to go with this. Moses Moody, and a first round pick, 2026 first round pick. I've been wanting 2026 first round picks, and it's unprotected 2026 first round pick. Shit. They want to give Steph Curry, another window, and they believe Ochai, and his defense can maybe spell in for Andrew Wiggins, and Kelly Olynyk's shooting can help out. Well, I just got Moses Moody, who I think is a pretty okay prospect. I'm not crazy about Moses Moody, but that 2026 first round pick could be really valuable if, they fall off a cliff. Of course, they could also be really good. They could also draft a really good player in 2025, and then boom, they're back and Steph Curry's blazing and they're winning a championship again. I have no idea, but I wouldn't bet that they'll be at the top of the West anytime soon. So I'm going to bet on their downside by trading for their 2026 pick unprotected. Trade exception needed. And boom, I just cleared a lot more salary because Moses Moody and Ochai Agbaji make almost the same amount of money. They were both 14th overall picks in back-to-back drafts, but Kelly Olynyk makes $12 million, and I just got rid of him for absolutely nothing. So now I'm going to make an offer to the free agent of my choice because I have a ton of room under the cap, and that player is OG Anunoby. And in this case, I'm hoping that he's going to agree. Okay, we're going to offer him enough so that he says yes. And that's okay. Who else? Tariq saying, OG, oh my. Well, let's wait until he signs on the dotted line. But Isaiah Hartenstein, he's a free agent. The Knicks can offer him only so much. I can offer him more. And quite frankly, I just traded away Jakob Poeltl. I think Isaiah Hartenstein makes sense for me. I'm willing to sign him to $17 million because I think he's worth it. And boom, they both said yes. Only caveat, I have to renounce Gary Trent Jr., Jordan Nwora, Malik Williams, TJ Carlton, and Mohamed Gay. I don't care. So I renounce those guys and boom. Let's do it. Okay, perfect. And this is the advantage of Manuel Quickley's cap hold being so low is it allows you to shop through all of it. Okay, so this is my roster right now. I got a little bit more defense. I like that. I got Trey Murphy III. He's a pretty good defender. I got rid of one of my best defenders, which is Jakob Poeltl, and a pretty good defender in Kelly Olynyk. But I also got rid of one of my biggest defensive liabilities, which is RJ Barrett. Okay, so we're gonna trade Shake Milton away for first round pick. Honestly, in what world would this actually happen? Don't know, but the Golden State Warriors are doing wacky things in 2K, and we're gonna go for it. And we cleared up just enough space to be able to offer Malik Monk a 3-year deal. So we're gonna offer Malik Monk a 3-year deal, and we got to match a deal that Emmanuel Quickley just signed with the Utah Jazz. So we're going to match that 3-year deal that he signed with the Jazz, and we're going to sign Malik Monk. And so we have a backcourt of Malik Monk plus Emmanuel Quickley. And we have a front court of Scotty, OG, and Trey Murphy. Now, I'm going to put Malik on the bench, move Scotty to the 2, and move OG to the 4, and start Isaiah Hartenstein, which means I'm going to have a really freaking big team. Okay, the only small player on my team is Emmanuel Quickley. Okay. Just looking through, trying to find a backup center. Do I want to go with Thaddeus Young? You know what? I love Serge Ibaka. Bring him back to be a third string center. Let's let him be a mentor to my young players. I really like Serge. Plus the Serge and OG connection. Love it. Ruse saying, yo, I hear Sacramento wants to get rid of its 13th pick. I've heard the same thing. Here I'm going to take a chance on a couple of prospects. They don't want two ways, so I'm just going to sign them to really low money contracts. Ulrich Komche and DJ Wagner. And we're going to sign them to like really low money contracts, and boom. If they're not good, if they don't work out with the G League, if they're unhappy, disgruntled, whatever, just move them at the trade deadline as part of a package for a vet. Did I see that right? For Quick, that's a steal. Agreed. Can 13th get us Zach? Zach who? Edie? Oh, and also Scotty's friend, Jonathan Mugbo, we're going to sign him to a 2-way contract. So Scotty can be happy about that. And Scotty's been pushing him as the steal of the draft because he's from West Palm Beach, and he's a really interesting prospect defensively, athletically. And I think he actually fits what the Raptors want to do, just in terms of transition. And he's a pretty smart player too. He's pretty versatile. And my boy Jeff Doughton is back on a 2-way contract with the Toronto Raptors as their technically third or fourth string point guard, but he's really going to be third string point guard. Okay, so we're signing everybody. Okay. All right. Boom. We went through free agency. Now, Scotty got a lot better. Like, he got a lot better. And if Scotty Barnes gets this good next season, this whole thing might actually come true. Okay. But almost nobody got worse. Serge Ibaka and Isaiah Hartenstein got worse, but that's about it. All right. This is Summer League. I didn't really care about Summer League personally, so the Raptors are going to get bounced in Summer League really quickly because, frankly, I didn't even care to fill out the roster properly. I simulated it. Detroit, congratulations to the Pistons. They won something. Okay. Now, trying to move off of Moses Moody. Yes, I told you, I'm like that sometimes. And oh my God, I got my guy. I've been talking about Dyson Daniels for years, 2 years. I've been talking about how much I love Dyson Daniels. And the New Orleans Pelicans were just like, okay, here, take this guy. We want more shooting because we lost Trey Murphy. All right, great. Take Moses Moody. No problem. Take my second round pick. Take all my picks. I don't care. Dyson Daniels is a Toronto Raptor. Okay. Now, if you're keeping tabs on this, like I gotta waive somebody. And unfortunately, I'm sorry, Serge. I got to waive somebody. I signed too many players. I kind of want to hold some of the younger players at the end of my roster. I'm not one of those people that has to have Garrett Temple at the end of my roster. I think these roster spots are pretty important. So, boom, here we go. So I'm going to work out my thing. I'm not starting Grady Dick. I want him to come off the bench with Malik Monk. If you're looking at this roster saying it doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense, you're right. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay. I have a guard like Scotty Barnes and I have a forward but I occasionally will be willing to go really small behind Isaiah Hartenstein. I don't mind Scotty playing minutes of the 5, OG playing minutes of the 5. I don't even mind Trey Murphy III playing minutes of the 5 or Tristan da Silva playing minutes at the 5. I really don't care. I want to have a team that has the most assets that are convertible, that are in a good position to succeed. So I don't want to put anyone in a position to be in an offense where they're going to look bad because it's going to hurt their trade value. And I'm not done building this roster. Like I'm going to keep building it throughout the year. And this is not the final version. I just need these guys to kind of play well for a bit. And you know what? Here's the other thing. If you're on a winning team, and you're succeeding on a winning team, your value goes up. So that's the other thing about winning, is if you can put guys in a position to win, suddenly those guys who are winning are known as winners around the NBA. You know what I mean? So if after trading for RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly, somehow the Raptors spiraled off like 15 straight wins, you better believe you're going to be paying a lot more for Emmanuel Quickly this summer. So it's unfortunate, but that's the way things go sometimes. But I really do believe the Raptors are a lot better than they showed last year because frankly, I think they artificially lost a lot of games. And I really think like the loss of Jakob Poeltl, like there's just that only rim protection. You really, really don't have Andrew saying Bruce Brown effect. Absolutely. Bruce Brown's a great example. If Bruce Brown hit free agency today, he'd be lucky to get $8 million. But he got $23 million last year. And he had offers in the area of 15 to 16 million from other teams. Like, that's crazy. But he was seen as a vital part of a championship team. And people just start imagining, like, hey, he's winning with Jokic. Maybe he can win with Sabonis. Maybe he can win with so-and-so. That's the narrative. Well, the Raptors are off to a crazy start. They've lost only 3 games so far, and basically they're like one of the best teams in the East right now. I don't know how this is happening, but they're 18-4. So yeah, and chemistry built up real fast. I think it's partially because they just have a lot of really good things. The only thing the roster is really lacking right now is rim pressure, but they have so much shooting, you know? Walker Kessler for Grady Dick. I said no. I already have Isaiah Hartenstein on my team. I'm good. I don't need 2, rim protecting roll bigs. Wake me up when Bruce Brown is off the roster. He's already off this roster. Just a heads up. Okay. Can we trade Malik Monk for something? So I got to shop around some Malik Monk and Larry Nance Jr. trades, along with that 2026 first round pick from the Raptors, top 3 protected. Okay. No, I'm not trading the 2026 pick. Andrew Nembhard and TJ McConnell is tempting, but I don't want to be small. I don't want to be a small team. I want to play with size. Okay. Maybe this is just not it. Maybe the trade is just not available right now. John Collins, not interested. This I like. Oh, damn. Desmond Bane? This I like. This is an interesting pick. Please tell me I trade for Desmond Bane. Did I pass on Desmond Bane? No. You idiot. I passed on him. I should be fired on the spot. Okay. So this made me think the Houston Rockets are absolutely insane. Okay, Tristan da Silva, Malik Monk, Larry Nance Jr. for Alperen Sengun and Dylan Brooks. Now, do I hate Dylan Brooks that much that I wouldn't make this trade? No. It's largely this. I like Alperen Sengun a lot. I don't love his fit with Scotty Barnes. I think they're a very clunky fit together. Now, obviously, the theory goes you put two good players together, you let them figure it out. Honestly, if my best player wasn't Scotty Barnes, I would trade for Alperen Şengün in a heartbeat. If I had, the capacity to play him at the four and he had the foot speed to guard the four, maybe I wouldn't be so worried about his rim defense killing me or his lack of switchability. I think the over reliance on Alpi, in terms of as a pick and roll threat, I think he's a fantastic young player. But if I'm building a team around Scotty Barnes, I'll take a Franz Wagner over an Alperen Şengün. So this is really tempting, and I want to do it. But first of all, I think it's so criminally stupid that the Houston Rockets would never do this, and I feel like this video would flop if I did this. Also, this is tempting in a sense, but not really. Karl Anthony Towns and Mike Conley. But Cat just makes way too much money, just way too much money. So, not really sure what I see here, but basically, right now, I have a problem, which is I have too many mediocre players and not enough great players. I have one great player, and that's Scotty Barnes. And I don't have anything else that's even close to that on my roster. It's just Scotty and a whole bunch of role players. So I would like to get Scotty a second player or a third player that he can play with. And I don't mind trading a couple of really decent players. And I don't know how this happened given the free agency, given the season he just had. But Kyle Anderson is suddenly a free agent. And I'm going to look into signing him. I don't want Jalen Smith. I think his IQ is a little bit. Najee Marshall, probably also a good idea, but probably makes too much money. So I'm going to sign Kyle Anderson to a 1-year minimum, and he is going to agree, which is crazy, but it's happening. So I'm going to take away Tristan da Silva's minutes and give them to Kyle Anderson. I like slow-mo, man. I do. Especially in lineups that don't necessarily feature Scotty Barnes already. I think he's a pretty smart, versatile defender. Yeah, the shooting is like troubling, but I have a lot of shooting on my team now. Okay, Kason Wallace. Little injury there. No problem. Get some minutes for Tristan da Silva. Also, I completely forgot about Jeff Doughton and Jonathan Mogbo in the G League. Didn't call them back. Didn't worry about their development at all. They're pissed as hell. They both want to get traded. They're both super unhappy right now. I know that. Okay. Come on now. Okay, so I mean the Raptors are 31-7. This is ridiculous. They're a really good team in 2K. I think if real life Raptors were 20, like even 21-7, I think most of us would have a heart attack. I don't think this is, but the team makes sense. Trey Murphy III with Scotty Barnes. This is basketball synergy 101. Emmanuel Quickly and Isaiah Hardenstein. This works. You know what I mean? Like they already have familiarity, by the way. OG and Scotty. This works. You know what I mean? Like who's scoring on this team, right? They're so good defensively. Like if the Knicks were good defensively, think about, you just got their two best defenders in Isaiah Hardenstein and OG Anunoby, and you're adding Scotty Barnes and Trey Murphy to that. Like no wonder the Raptors are so good. And they're deep. You know what I mean? You got Malik Monk coming off the bench. You got Grady coming off the bench, and Grady's actually good in 2K. So now I want to try to trade for Lauri Markkanen, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it done. But you know what? I got to bite the bullet. I want a second star with Scotty Barnes. He's the closest thing I can get to a star that actually fits with Scotty. I don't completely want to gut my future to get that star. So I'm trading Emmanuel quickly in a first round pick to get Lauri Markkanen. So that's done. And now I'm going to look at trading Malik Monk and Larry Nance Jr. for something. And this is going to be like the final touches on what I believe to be like the championship roster that I want to assemble. And I'm going to revisit a trade that I passed on earlier. And that's going to be, well, I was tempted to go with DeJounte Murray, but I don't think DeJounte and Scotty are a good backcourt. But Desmond Bane and Scotty is a freaking phenomenal backcourt. Desmond Bane's point of attack defense, his pass dribble shoot, his shooting ability overall, his screen navigation. Like I think Desmond Bane is a great pairing for Scotty Barnes. The cool thing about this is this actually makes Scotty my point guard, which has always been what I wanted anyway. And guess who my backup point guard is? It's Nikola Topic, which means my entire team is huge. Desmond Bane is literally like 6'4". He's the smallest player on my whole team. So, okay, and now when we look at trading Tristan da Silva and Kyle Anderson for Peyton Watson and Hunter Tyson. Now, I think I did this largely. I think this is probably a bad move for the now, but this is a good move for the future, right? I don't really buy De Silva's upside necessarily as a defender. I'm not really seeing a place for him in terms of like playing minutes. He is 22 years old. Peyton Watson, believe it or not, is actually younger than Tristan De Silva, even though De Silva is a rookie. And I like Peyton Watson more so as like an athlete, like a live wire athlete. And I like that with Scotty. I like that with all the playmaking talent on my team, that I could have a defender who can really run transition, and hopefully develop behind these guys. So, okay, we got Peyton Watson. And also, another good thing about Peyton Watson, I don't really have to play him. Kyle Anderson, I kind of feel bad that I'm not playing this guy. He's like my 10th guy. He's too good to be a 10th guy in the NBA. So go let these guys win a championship in Denver, or chase a championship in Denver, and give me the young prospect that can develop with Scotty and OG. Like, what great examples for Peyton Watson to play with, like Scotty and OG. Like, they can really, I think he just fits. And also personality wise, like I think he really fits with what the Raptors do. So here we are, trade deadline day. This will be the last day to make trades. And let's see, Trader Rob, gotta make some more trades, man. I don't want to trade Jeff Doughton. But I wouldn't mind trading DJ Wagner. I just don't want Oscar Sheway back. So I called up Jonathan Mogbo and Jeff Doughton from the G League. And DJ Wagner, who are you going to be traded for, bro? Should have traded him for Maxi Kleber, but I was just worried about where I would sign him. So I'm going to trade him for a second round pick and Guy Santos. Again, youth, upside, fine. But another power forward, Guy Santos, super athletic. Again, athletes, athletes, athletes. It's all I'm thinking about is transition, athletes, two-way players, shooting potential. I have a type, and I'm just racking up the end of my bench with as many prospects like that. I've waived Shake Milton as a little bit of roster housekeeping. Is there another free agent that I signed? No, that's it. I'm rolling with this core. And this core is pretty cool. Like, my starting lineup is Scotty Barnes, Desmond Bane, Trey Murphy III, Lauri Markkanen at the 5, right? Which is interesting. OG Anunoby at the 4, and Isaiah Hartenstein coming off the bench with Grady Dick and Nikola Topic. Like, that's a really interesting team to me. I'm not sure how you guys feel, but I got plenty of depth around it too. I think it's an interesting team for sure. Also, I make a somewhat underrated move. I fire my assistant coach, Pat Delaney. I'm not a fan of him. And Joe Mazzulla got fired after bouncing out of the finals from Boston. He's looking for a job. I'm going to bring him on as my assistant. So I am going to hire Joe Mazzulla, Joey Mavs, Boston Celtics current head coach Joe Mazzulla, and I'm going to bring him on to my staff as my assistant head coach or assistant coach. So Darko and Joe Mazzulla, what a completely wacky bunch of people to put together as a but also like really interesting people. Okay, Luka wins MVP. Well deserved, finally. And honestly, this is gonna happen next year. If he's healthy, he's winning MVP next year. Matas Buzelis, who I passed on with the 19th pick, he went 24th to the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls were awful. He ended up putting up the right numbers. He ends up struggling shooting the 3, a lot of whatever, but hey, he wins Rookie of the Year. This rookie class was not very good. Sixth Man of the Year goes to Kevin Porter Jr., who somehow ends up on the Knicks. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Victor Wembanyama wins Defensive Player of the Year, the first of probably 100 in a row. Most Improved Player is Amen Thompson. Clutch Player of the Year is Trae Young. Jason Kidd wins Coach of the Year, and this NPC dude wins Executive of the Year. Bro, I did like 15, 18 trades. How am I not? Oh, this is amazing. Okay, so first team All NBA. That's awesome. Victor Wembanyama, Trae Young, Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic, and Scotty Barnes. Love it. That's awesome. What did Scotty do on the year? Well, his season high was 41 points. I find it interesting that Sam Vecini the version with hair is in 2K. That's really cool. Saying nice things about Scotty. Scotty's happy. All NBA means a lot to me. It's always been a goal of mine. Each day is looking better than the last. Love it, man. Happy that my franchise player is happy. Jonathan Mugbo is still on the team. He is happy too. Super, super awesome stat line for next year. Nearly 24 points, 8.6 rebounds, 8.3 assists. His assist numbers bounced up big time. He ends up shooting 41% from three. Seems far-fetched, but he was shooting about 39% from three before the OG trade last year. So it makes sense to get OG back, get all the spacing, that he would shoot much better from three. He's also working on a shot like heavy this offseason. So it wouldn't tremendously surprise me, but yes, this would be a crazy, crazy ascent from last year to the next year. But I really wouldn't be surprised if Scotty's an all-NBA player. First team all-NBA seems crazy, but it wouldn't surprise me if he was like third team all-NBA next year. Don't sleep on Scotty, bro. Okay. And okay. Cool. And Nikola makes second team all defense. Sorry, second team all rookie. All right. And just got to adjust my playoff rotations. And just got to look at it up and down and just see. The Detroit Pistons are 8th seed. They made the playoffs, which is pretty impressive. Hold on. Let me just see here. One sec. I got to see this. One sec. I'm sorry. I lost my place. I totally missed which teams made the playoffs and which teams didn't. Give me one sec here. Momo saying put Murphy at the 4, OG at the 3 for the playoffs. No, it's okay. I mean, look, man, I have probably one of the largest teams in NBA history, right? I'm compensating obviously for a lot because Lauri Markkanen is playing center right now, and he obviously does not have typical center defensive traits. But I really like the potential of putting someone out there who puts that much pressure on the opposing big to rise in the defense and like to pop. So yeah, it's not ideal, but you also don't have like three. Okay, so first of all, we get some bad news. Isaiah Hartenstein hyperextended left knee. That sucks because he's pretty much the only center on my roster. Okay, so in terms of the East, it's the Raptors versus the Pistons, the Sixers versus the Heat, the Orlando Magic versus the Knicks, and the number 2 Cleveland Cavaliers versus the number 7 Atlanta Hawks. That's pretty realistic, although I'm kind of bummed that the Indiana Pacers didn't make it, making me think that 2026 pick might actually be pretty good. Over in the West, Dallas, number 1, OKC, number 2, Denver, number 3, Portland, number 4. Where? Oh, wow. Okay. All right. San Antonio makes the playoffs as a 7 seed. Utah makes it as an 8 seed. Minnesota falls down to 6, and Houston, behind Fred VanVleet and Alperen Sengun, makes it to 5. Then why did they want to trade those guys in the middle of the trade deadline? That makes no sense. Nameless saying this is fun what you're doing, Roberto. Thanks a lot, man. It's about to get a hell of a lot more fun because I'm about to beat the Detroit Pistons and sweep their ass. So here we go. And here's the bonus part. We haven't played any games yet, but I'm gonna play out the last minute of this. So you can kind of see what this team looks like and plays like. So we're gonna play out the last 3 minutes and 38 seconds, but really it's gonna be snippets. When we get into the second round, then we're actually gonna play out like larger samples of the game, like 4, 5, 4 minutes.
Pass to Sasser.
All right. This is a formality, bro. This is all right. Old high school teammates. Get that garbage out of here. Couldn't block him. Missed.
Barnes has got rebound number 15 here tonight.
And right now they're +8 in the rebounding category. That's helping them run away with
That's that beautiful spacing, man. Cunningham with another miss.
A decent look for him. He just couldn't convert. Here's Barnes. Good.
Is Cade gonna be? It's gonna be classy. Nope, they're not gonna be classy. It's the Pistons. All right.
Here's Wallace. He's watched by Cunningham.
All right.
Dick, the pass to Hartenstein.
Y'all gonna take a crazy shot? I'm gonna take a crazy shot.
Using every inch of that reach.
From downtown.
No, Grady.
They've won
with the brick of all bricks. Someone just got really mad that you fucked up their parlay. Okay. So the Raptors are going to go up next against the Sixers, and I'm already scared for the health of my entire team going up against Joel Embiid. God protect Scotty's ankles. Oh, no. Okay. 2 games into the series, I've lost Isaiah Hartenstein for the entire playoffs. And I'm up against Joel Embiid. Okay. So my playoff run is over, but it was a nice run while it lasted. Shit. The Raptors have injury issues. OG Anunoby, bruised rib, day-to-day is now an injury. Fuck. I was surprised we didn't get too many OG injuries during the year. He was relatively healthy, but so I've lost Isaiah Hartenstein. Am I going to play Ulrich Komche in the playoffs? What am I doing here? Playing 11-man rotation in the playoffs? It's freaking nuts. Why is Trey Murphy benched? Okay, move him to starting lineup. Okay. It's not really sure what to do here. Lauri Markkanen is going to get destroyed by Joel Embiid. Could I potentially start Scotty at the center? Do I really want to put Scotty into the line of fire against Joel Embiid? I'm a fun guy saying if we had Zach Edey in this series, yeah, good luck. You're gonna stop Zach. You're gonna stop Joel Embiid with rookie Zach Edey. People really need to think a little bit here. Zach Edey versus Embiid. Yeah, I would rather try Dyson Daniels against Embiid. Not gonna lie. All right. Are you? Oh my god. Okay, what did I just do here? I'm sorry. I lost my mind. Hold on one sec. I lost my place. My bad, guys. One sec. Where the hell was I? Okay, so Lauri Markkanen is now injured, and I have to adjust for that. So we got Lauri's injured. We got wow. So Lauri Markkanen is out. I'm actually going to have to play Ulrich Komche, or I'm going to have to starting, I don't know, OG Anunoby at center. Okay, so Raptors, it's 2-2, and now it's 3-2 Philly, and if I simulate one more, probably the Raptors are just going to lose. So let's just go with it. And, it was a nice run while it lasted, but oh my God, Grady with an ankle injury. Okay, like my whole team is injured against the Sixers, and okay. Come on, Raptors, pull it out. Undermanned as hell. Let's push it to a game 7. Come on. Andrew saying we're like the Knicks from this year. Everyone getting injured. Agreed. All right. It's 104, 102. And by the way, just a full disclosure, I'm terrible at 2K. So I don't even understand. Maybe I'm not even helping my team by playing this game out, because probably, oh my God, I just got locked. Oh my God. Oy vey. They're just like, who is this idiot playing?
And some changes here for the 76ers. Green comes in for Reed, and Tobias Harris subbed in for Wood. Gives us a chance to catch up with Ali LaForce.
I was able to listen in on what Darko Rajakovic was going over with his team. Confidence is what he's asking for right now. He said, quote,
the one advantage of having a 6'9" point guard.
And if we don't think we can see Brian.
Ali, thank you. So for Toronto right now,
Scotty on an island against Maxey is death. Oh yeah, by the way, the Sixers have Draymond Green, which is another reason why. This is like the dirtiest team in NBA history. Joel Embiid and Draymond Green. No wonder half my team's injured.
Barnes has got 9 rebounds in the game. Boy, he's getting it done. Made the pass to Anunoby.
No, OG. OG is so useless.
1:52 left in the fourth quarter.
So useless. I've been playing with OG for like 6 years in NBA 2K. He's never not been useless in NBA 2K. Nice pass, Scotty. Nice pass. Take it, OG. My God. It's the one thing you can do. Okay. Hey, that's another advantage of having really smart players who can actually do stuff with the basketball.
Markkanen coming through in the clutch. We see you, young sir.
I like that. That was a good play.
Maxey against Barnes. And stolen by Markkanen.
Love it. Great pass.
And he hammers it home to polish
Okay.
off the break.
Raptor comeback. Love it.
Creating plays defensively.
The Sixers trailing. Embiid with it. Picked up by Markkanen. Embiid against Markkanen. Embiid inside.
Wow. Lauri just went flying on that one.
13 points was their biggest lead of the game. And he commits the intentional foul.
Scotty got the clutch gene, yo.
44 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter of this one. Yep, that one goes. And now a 7-point Raptor lead.
And they just continue to attack, even late in the game, while they're up big.
And as a result, they may be facing just a little bit
SP
less
saying, can't
resistance
you
right
watch
now.
the
They are
simulation?
having their
Yeah,
way.
we're watching it right now.
40
Oh, well,
seconds
actually,
left in
no.
the game.
I mean, I could watch the
They need
simulation,
this.
but I'm choosing not
Draws
to.
the foul, headed to the line to shoot a pair.
Guys, for Malik Beasley, it comes down to one thing in my mind, taking good shots. When he does that, he's super effective.
Beasley hits them both. This is their chance to stretch the lead, Grant.
Yeah, it's a must. They have to execute and avoid the big mistake.
And they go to the intentional foul. Ooh, he doesn't
No.
hit the first. That was the one they really wanted. He's got one more, though.
What I'm always impressed by
Why?
is Markkanen's versatility. The guy can face up and make jump shots. He can be enough of a presence on the interior that you're very comfortable with him in this modern NBA game.
The Sixers again can't hit. And that's a foul.
All right. I like Desmond Bain going to the line, man. He's a good free throw shooter. We got this.
The rest of this one out.
Can't be happy with fouling out.
Who was that shooting? That was Lauri Markkanen.
Anyways.
And he can't make the second free throw. He
Yo. Missed both?
for three, Maxey. Unable to get that
Oh, this
one. And
is
an intentional foul right
epic.
there.
Scotty, will you make the free throws? Do you have the clutch gene?
First free throw is good.
That's what I thought.
And that
Okay.
increases the lead to 6.
Boy, you think about Scotty Barnes, the 2022 Rookie of the Year, guys. 6'9", long, could do many things, and honestly, a ton of growth left.
Love it.
And the 76ers call time here. They're behind by 7. 7 seconds left in the game. All right, guys, what's your take?
A lot to talk about here, but hey, this game is likely out of reach.
Well, maybe it could
Oh,
wait
shit.
until after the game because this one is over.
That was a good call. The defense wasn't established.
Come on, man. This is the dumbest game I've ever seen in my life.
And that trims the lead to 6. Both free throws good from Maxey.
Lou E saying, to be fair, the free throws on Hall of Fame difficulty ain't easy. Agreed. I'm playing All Star, I believe, on difficulty level there. I think the reason they weren't so easy is because we're on the road, so the controller shakes. And again, I don't really play this game. Okay, let's see how this goes. Oh, what? Okay, love it. This looks like a win. This looks like the Raptors are going to eke this out. They're going to come back from being down 3-2 and actually clean up. They got this, right? I don't have to step in. I don't have to play the rest of this game. I'm just going to play it anyway. Play 2 minutes. Up 15. Just see the celebration. The Raptors go to the conference finals. Love it. Also funny, the Raptors beat Embiid to make it to the conference finals the year they won the championship.
They've been the aggressors taking that ball to the basket, and they've been able to knock down a good percentage of those free throws.
So on the floor for Philadelphia, Tyrese Maxey out there with Beasley.
Man, just look at all the shooting. Look at the spacing. Desmond Bain, Grady Dick, Lauri Markkanen, Scotty Barnes. Nikola Topic is like my rim pressure. He's like one of my only rim pressure guys, but like
Toronto gets it back with a new 14. The three. That shot off the mark. The
yo, with me
76ers
playing
trail by
2K,
14.
there's
Beasley kicks to Embiid. 1:39 left in the fourth. Embiid powers it down.
Nothing new for Embiid here. Going off for a big scoring performance. Par for the course.
all right, Scotty, let's do it. Just dunk it on him, man.
And
Why are we
contact
finessing
shot,
things
so
that we
he'll
should be
shoot
dunking,
for
man?
And so he's
Maybe
picked
he's
up his
tired.
final foul, and he will sit for the rest of this game.
All right, get him fouled out.
Their depth could be an asset here, helping them weather his absence.
The Raptors making a switch here. We've got 1:28 left to play here in the fourth. Takes a step back. Done.
All right, man. Next up, conference finals. Let's go. Let's go. We got 1 minute to go to the conference finals, man. Against the Knicks, Jalen Brunson, and no Joel, but we got no Isaiah Hartenstein, and Lauri Markkanen is back banged up. Oh, Scotty.
Fast break. Here we go. Barnes against Beasley. Good ball movement here by the 76ers. And the dunk by Embiid.
Yo, why am I so bad at this game? It's like, since I started playing, I'm pretty sure I've lost like 5 points, and Scotty's gonna get a backcourt violation.
Too much time getting up court. And Philadelphia calls time here. They're down by 9.
Oh my God.
There's 48 seconds
Jaden
left.
saying, how come you're not letting the CPU play the CPU? Yeah, that's true. The CPU playing the CPU would be a lot more interesting than me playing the CPU. That is true. I just wanted to be a part of something, man. I just wanted to be a part of the win.
And Trey Murphy gets the whistle that time. That's his third foul so far.
Bro, if my players could talk, they would just be like, yo, bro, stop jumping into the game. We had this. We were good. Why you gotta do this? Why you gotta be all tense? You gotta bring it to 7 now. Now we got to 7.
Also gets to the glass from his position.
Now here's Barnes.
How'd that happen? Love it.
Slamming it down.
Love it. Okay. That's me being clutch in 2K.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
Does it as well as anybody, fellas. Tremendous skill while in the air.
And the
Take that
76ers
all-star
call
difficulty.
time
All right.
here. They're trailing by 9. 40 seconds left in the fourth quarter. 40 seconds left to play in the final quarter. No good from Beasley.
Boy, the defense got lucky there with him missing. But they don't want to chance that again.
Pass. Okay. 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 Doing that clutch thing that he does every now and again. Cross up Embiid, dunk on nobody.
And, you know, this run shows what kind of attitude this team has. I mean, the win is
They're
there,
serious.
go get it.
Block it.
Beasley for 3.
That was almost blocked. Yo, pass it, pass it, pass it. Oh, why would Scotty come back up?
Cannot argue with the W.
Count that.
Okay, 6 points in a row. I had you fooled that I didn't know how to play this game. Suddenly I know how to play this game. No, I still don't know how to play this game.
Ready to celebrate.
And I think they can start that celebration right now. I mean, what a terrific team victory.
And I love the fact that he didn't have to slow down or adjust there. The pass was just timed perfect.
Embiid with the
Oh
steal.
my goodness.
And so the Toronto Raptors
So,
take the series and will move on. Thank
all
you.
right.
Thank you for that,
We got
David.
this. Let's go. Next up, New York, man. We got this. This is probably where it ends, but we got home court advantage. We don't have a fucking center. Isaiah Hartenstein's out for the season. We're gonna have to play we gotta play a center just because he's 7 feet tall, who doesn't even know how to play the game. Ulrich Komche is like probably one of the worst players in the NBA. But I gotta play him because they just need size. I need size to deal with Mitchell Robinson inside. Shit. Should have kept Serge Ibaka, man. Should have kept Serge Ibaka. All right. Simulate. No. Grady Dick with a sprained ankle, and now Grady's out. Fuck. You know why I was so lucky with injuries throughout the year? Because I hardly played anyone any minutes. That's how. Now I got to play Dyson Daniels, who can't shoot, Nikola Topic, who can't shoot, Kason Wallace, who can shoot, but I got to play 3 guards, like tons of minutes. Bro, my shooting and my size are decimated. I got to play Peyton Watson, who can't shoot, and Ulrich Komche, who can't shoot. Like my entire bench is basically Kason Wallace dragging a bunch of guys who can't shoot. And then my starting lineup, you got Lauri Markkanen, who's not a center, playing center, getting abused. Yo, maybe I had to rethink this. Yo, that's facts. All right, Raptors to the finals over Jalen Brunson. Love it. They're gonna show us. Didn't play any of those games. Didn't need to. Wasn't a close series. It's time to just go out in a blaze of glory in the finals against the OKC Thunder or whoever makes it to the finals. All right, got to adjust those lineups. Hopefully, Lauri Markkanen is getting slightly healthier. Tariq saying, "Yo, Rob, check Scotty's stats." I can't because this is previously done. This was condensed. This is I'm not doing this live. See my hands? So I already did this. I did this 2 days ago. All right. So we got Shea and Scotty's stats in the postseason. There we go. 20.6, 10.6, and 10. So he averaged a 20-point triple-double, basically. Not great. Thunder win, Thunder win, Thunder win. Fuck. Okay. Shit. And Desmond Bane, bruised right thigh. Shit. Okay. Like, let's be real. Like, we just went from lottery, losing our pick, to the NBA Finals. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's not bad. All right, 3-1. Love it. Love it. Okay. Let's go again. Let's go again. Don't tell me the Raptors are going to be the first team in NBA history to do this. No, they're not. Okay. Hold on. Oh, no. Do I play this? I should play this. I should definitely play this. No, I shouldn't play this. I'm terrible at this. Oh, okay. They're gonna eke it out. They're gonna eke it out without me. Come on, just do it. Do it. They got it. Okay. Okay. All right. Game 6. Let's go. Game 6. Desmond Bane. Injury is healed. Okay. Love it. Grady Dick is back. Desmond Bane is back. Lauri Markkanen is back to 80 overall. Isaiah Hartenstein's still out because he's out for the season. But I can finally take Ulrich Komche off. Like, that's good. You know? Maybe I'll play Kason Wallace. 6'3" Kason Wallace at center. I mean, he's strong. Or I could play OG as my backup center. I could do that. All right. Let's see. We're in game 6. OKC at home. I don't know. Can the Raptors pull this out? I'm nervous, man. I'm nervous. Oh, man. Okay, now I really want to jump in just because I'm being a control freak, but I really do want to jump in just to make sure the Raptors make it through. Oh, no. Oh, no. Bro. Okay, I'm an idiot. Why would I jump into this? The computer has a way better chance of winning this game than I do. Yo, that was a risky pass.
Desmond Bane is a good option in these situations. Way to come through.
Oh, and I got to face RJ Barrett in the finals. That's a storyline. You can't shoot. You can't shoot like that, Josh Giddey. Don't go into congestion, man. Okay. Trey Murphy. Love it.
This is why we all watch. The NBA is about these moments. The Raptors making a switch here and keeping us updated from the sideline. Allie LaForce.
Hi, guys. Well, Mark Dagnall was just reviewing the plan with his team. He's trying to keep them grounded. He told them to focus on the task at hand. He said, quote, drown out the noise and let's play our game. This one has that playoff atmosphere.
Wow. How are you going to lose Josh Giddey on a drive like that, Scotty Barnes? That's disgusting. Everyone is disappointed right now, myself included.
Barnes against Giddey. Lets it go from deep. Oh, nails the triple.
That's why you trade for Trey Murphy, man. That is why you trade for Trey Murphy. That is why you trade for Trey Murphy. Because he can do that. He can do that. Personally, I like how they went into like that kind of like slow-mo as I hit that three. That was pretty cool.
Seconds left in the fourth quarter here.
What are they doing here? All right. Dude, the Raptors starting five is like a big five. OG, Trey, Desmond Bane, Scotty Barnes, Lauri Markkanen. That's a crazy starting five. That's like, I want to say that's like exactly like the Boston Celtics, but like I like it as much as the Boston Celtics starting five.
Outside Barrett.
Oh my God, Desmond Bane. Underrated defender, man. Oh, you fucking idiot.
Oh, wow. A huge basket to tie the game.
Those are the shots he needs to be taking if he wants to get out of this rut.
And Toronto calls time here.
I was shook when this happened. I can't believe that happened.
Goes up off the inbound.
Scotty Barnes being big time in big time moments.
That has to be the stupidest game winner in NBA history. Dude, what?
Game 7. They stave off elimination.
Okay, hold on. I got to see that again. I got to see that again. That's crazy. Okay. There's Scotty right there. There's Josh Giddey guarding him for some inexplicable reason. And Desmond Bane just sets a screen. Josh Giddey gets kicked off. And guess who does not recover? That's RJ Barrett.
Goes up off the inbound.
No, that's my bad. That's Lou Dort. Lou Dort. And RJ Barrett doesn't recover. Boom.
Scotty Barnes being big time in big time moments.
So a close game sees Toronto taking this one.
That's crazy. After that crazy ass turnover to bounce back like that, that's composure. That's composure. I gotta be honest, when I was recording this 2 days ago and I made that turnover, I was like, yo, you gotta be kidding me. Please end the recording right now. People are not gonna let me live this down if I lost this series on that. Now, this is why the Raptors have made a comeback in this series. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has fouled out of both Game 5 and Game 6. And he's played, like, he's only scored a combined 36 minutes. He only played 24 minutes in the last game. I was wondering, like, why is he not closing those games out? It's because he fouled out of both games. Okay, Game 7 time, man. I hope this one's competitive. All right, so far it's competitive. It's pretty neck and neck. All right, Raptors pulling away. Oh, big lead. Okay. No lead is safe. But 16 points with 4 minutes to go. I'd say that's safe. All right. Okay. Let's play this out. Okay. I think the only question at this point is, can I screw this up?
1:57 left in the fourth quarter. Here's Barrett. Here's Holmgren. The Thunder with another miss.
He's got so many ways to score in the post. Just nifty, uses fakes. You have to have a body.
Yo,
every time
honestly, Desmond Bane is super underrated. Come on, Scotty, take him into the post, man. Take him into the post. They cleared out the side. Cleared out the side. Peace. All right.
He is a highlight reel unto himself. himself, guys.
That could be a contender for the dunk of the year, I think.
I don't think so.
Nice job capturing the moment on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam.
Riding his hip. I like that.
That's the end of an epic journey taken by both these teams in unbelievable fashion. Get the NBA title rings ready, folks, for the Raptors.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
They're going to close out a remarkable
Come on.
and dramatic NBA Finals with a tremendous win here in Game 7.
Block him.
The series itself
These guys do
was
not care about
dramatic,
spreads
but they
at
didn't
all.
want any drama here in Game 7. They wanted to seal the win well before the final whistle. And boy, did they do it. A clutch performance on the biggest stage in basketball. Just a fantastic
That is not a
win
clutch hook shot,
to clinch
or whatever the hell that
NBA
was.
championship.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Scotty Barnes.
Just knows how to fill it up, and that's exactly what he did tonight. Nobody that they assigned to him could really
Pass. There we go. Oh, I like that pass. I like that pass. I don't know how to throw alley-oops, but I like that pass. I would have thrown an alley-oop if I knew how to throw an alley-oop.
output tonight, trying to urge their team on. And that could
Oh,
always
Scotty's going to foul out.
advantage of home fans getting you going, fully on display here.
And the good news, though, is they've already got the win wrapped up. You might as well sit back and enjoy this one. And guys, this is where their depth really comes into play. They've got
That's true.
such talent at that position. They'd love to have him out there, but they won't suffer much of a drop-off.
It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock in game. Giddy against Anunoby. Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
Not afraid to try his interior.
Pass to Markkanen. The shot, no good. Oh, they've done it. The Toronto Raptors are the new NBA champions.
Love it.
Absolutely tremendous. All the travel, all the practices.
Was never in doubt. Never in doubt. Not even when we were down 0-3 in the finals.
The exhaustion culminating into tonight.
And whenever you win the NBA championship, there is a level of accomplishment and excitement that really can't.
There's my doppelganger right there. Love it.
Amazing to have accomplished this goal.
The celebration is here, and this place is going crazy. The bench loves it. The fans obviously overjoyed. This is one of those moments these players will never forget. Let's go to the floor. Here is Adam Silver presenting the Larry O'Brien Trophy.
All right. The Toronto Raptors win a championship just a year after being in the lottery, which is pretty much something that could happen for the Dallas Mavericks. So at 26.9 points, 9 rebounds, 12.3 assists, 1.4 blocks, 1.4 steals, shooting 35%. Dude, this is doable. Believe it or not, this is actually doable. That's crazy. Maybe the 12 assists is hard to do, but like the rest of this is doable. So Scotty Barnes, you ever see this? Anyone clips this out for you? Believe me, your biggest fan thinks that this is perfectly doable for you next year. All right. All right. Okay, and as promised, I'm going to take you right through to the 2025 draft. And hold on. Where are we here? Okay, so draft lottery. The Spurs get the second pick. I want that pick. So I'm going to trade for it. Okay. Because winning a championship does not dull me from my responsibilities of building a dynasty. And if I believe that there's a player in this draft, which I absolutely do believe there's 2 or 3 players in this draft who can build and stay with my young core and become like great chips for me to develop along with it, I'm going to do that. And I don't care what it costs me. And unless, of course, it's one of my key pieces. But even if it is one of my key pieces, you can always get better. That's kind of like my philosophy in general is you can get better. And honestly, after winning a championship is usually when players' value is the highest. So Desmond Bain, you're probably going to get traded right now. So I got to trade a pick as well. Trade 17. Okay. So I got to trade Desmond Bain, the 17th pick. Don't trade Dyson Daniels, bro. You need that. And Ulrich Comche. Okay. The Spurs have traded the second overall pick in the 2025 draft for Desmond Bain, 17, and Ulrich Comche. All right, cool. Let's see who goes number 1. It's Cooper Flagg to the that sucks for me because I have the 2026 pick, and now that pick's not going to be very good. That sucks. All right, let's see what I've been offered. I got offered Steph Curry for the second overall pick. I'm not taking it. Rob Williams, Lou Dort, Devin Vassell. I mean, these are good players. Steph Curry is tempting. Kawhi Leonard's really tempting. That's a lot of cap space. LaMelo is not that tempting. Getting IQ back would be interesting. DeAnthony Melton, not really. James Wiseman. Why does 2K think James Wiseman's an asset? I'll be honest, like the Steph Curry part of it, it's making me think a little bit. Like it does make me want to just do it just for fun, but I can't. I can't go with Steph Curry, yo. So I think the right thing to do here would be to use this pick on the best possible young player. Nah, don't do it, man. Don't go for LaMelo Ball. Nah, just draft a player. And let's draft Ace Bailey, man. Just do it. Do it. Yeah, we got to draft Ace Bailey. I would have loved to bring Cooper Flagg into this team. That would have been sick. Put him at the 4. I don't know what I do with OG then, but like when I move OG, I move Trey Murphy to the 3, build the biggest team in NBA history. Can you imagine that team? If I move Cooper Flagg to the 4, Lauri to the 5, Cooper covers all the interior, or maybe even Cooper to the 5 as a small ball 5, Lauri to the 4, OG to the 3, Trey Murphy the 3rd to the 2nd to 2, and Scotty to 1. That would be like the biggest team in NBA history. All right. And that is the end of my 2K simulation. Pretty much, I think. Oh, I still got to sign Scotty Barnes. I forgot to sign Scotty Barnes. That was the crazy part. So I had an opportunity. I had an opportunity to get Scotty last offseason, and I completely forgot. And Trey Murphy the 3rd as well. So those 2 guys are going to have to get signed. Where is Trey Murphy? So he signed Scotty to a max. Signed Trey Murphy to... he's willing to give us a bit of a hometown discount. $26 million is a steal for Trey Murphy the 3rd. So we signed Trey Murphy, signed Scotty, lose some trade exceptions, renounce the rights. And yeah, I mean, we pretty much run it back, but we got Ace Bailey as well. And we still kept like the vast majority of our picks. Tariq saying, get Fred. No thanks. I would get Fred and just like, I don't know, put him on the bench or like a 3rd stringer and just watch him lose his mind. But that would be against my principle of trying to put together the best team. Whatever you do, please don't pick up Dennis. That's not happening. So, I mean, this is the team. It's a pretty damn good team, right? I mean, you could think of Trey Murphy in this situation as a 3 or a 4. You could think of OG as the 3 or the 4. You can think of Scotty as the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4. And then you got Ace Bailey coming up, who could be like a 3-2, and like he's big, so he could also grow into like a bit of a small ball 4. So I mean, like you just got athletes, you got transition athletes, you got defenders, you got shooters, and in Ace Bailey, you also got a little bit of a slasher. I think like that was sort of what was missing, rim pressure. Like you need rim pressure, and with all this spacing around you, right? You got Lauri, who's a bomber. You got Trey Murphy, who's a bomber. You got these guys who are great shooters. They widen all the angles and the gaps for all of your, downhill attack guys to actually thrive. Like I think RJ Barrett would thrive in an offense like this. It's just the unfortunate part is he doesn't defend very well. So I wanted to go for plus defenders across the board. Kason Wallace is on the bench as well. Plus, I got, Kason Wallace is a 3-and-D type of defender coming off my bench, which is a huge luxury to have. I'm sure he's not going to be a backup for long. You got Grady Dick, who's a movement shooter coming off the bench. You got Isaiah Hartenstein, who's like perfect to have a movement shooter with. And then you got Nikola Topic, who's like a perfect, pick and roll guard, who can actually put some rim pressure. And then on top of that, you got like Peyton Watson, right? And Guy Santos, like athletes who can sort of like get downhill and defend and get out in the open court. So yeah, like I think this is how I would do it. Like if this was even remotely feasible, possible, or if Danny Ainge would let go of, Lauri Markkanen for anything less than 4 first-round picks, if ever that window opens up. But it doesn't have to be exactly these players. It has to be this philosophy, though. It has to be two-way guys. You'll notice I didn't trade any first-round picks for any Thaddeus Young type players, right? I didn't trade any first-round picks and 3, picks, to make myself 5% better for a Jakob Poeltl. These are the type of moves that set you back, right? But like, tanking for Derek Lively, finding Derek Jones in the free agent heap, finding Kelly Oubre as a free agent. That's kind of like what finding a Kyle Anderson for a minimum contract was like, right? So now Isaiah Hartenstein, let's see what Isaiah Hartenstein and Peyton Watson can get us. Like I feel like I'm trading some defense. I'm assuming it is for a stretch big, or a more prototypical big so that I could run Markkanen at the 4. But let's see what comes up of that. Anyways, decided to go against that trade, and that is the end of this stimulation. Vegan grass. So much to talk about, and we doing this LMAO. Well, vegan grass, if you could take a moment to just think about what we're actually doing, we just simulated out an entire season ahead. We are not creating players. We are not working with fake players. We're drafting players that are draft eligible. If you want to talk about something beyond 2K because you think 2K is childish or because whatever, then that's your prerogative. But I actually think that this is really productive. We just played an entire season and we talked about roster philosophy. We talked about, draft philosophy. We talked about building around Scotty. We talked about team building in general. I think this is a pretty productive use of time, frankly. Didn't say I didn't like it. That's cool. I mean, you don't have to like it. I'm just saying, like, the concept of, like, would it be better content if I just came on here and talked about Ulrich Komche or Yves Misi for like an hour? I don't really think so. I don't necessarily think that would be better content at all. And I also don't think that would be I don't think that would be as much fun. Anyways, tomorrow I'm doing a video on the NBA Finals, specifically who I'm picking between Boston and Dallas and why, providing a little bit of analysis in terms of what I think could happen in the series and who I think will come out on top, why I think, Dallas is maybe not nearly as bad as their analytics might suggest in the regular season, and why I think maybe the Boston Celtics aren't nearly as good as their analytics suggest. Rob, did you hear the new Jonte info? No, I did not. What happened with Jonte Porter? Is he allowed back in the NBA? That would be great. Give us a spoiler, Rob. Who you got winning the chip? No, I cannot do that. But it'll be really fun. And also, I think every day that the finals are on, so the finals are on Thursday, and then there's 2 days between finals. So we'll do the content for this month going forward, I don't think we're going to do any more 2K videos for this month. Maybe we'll do like a 2K build after the draft or something, because I would like to do this. It was fun, playing 2K for 2 hours, cutting it down into an hour video and seeing what could happen. It's fun. It's cool to see how many ways this could play out. So what I would like to do is, in the days that the finals are not happening, so like Thursday finals, Friday, Saturday, no finals, Sunday finals, right? So in the Friday and Saturday, we can do draft videos specifically geared towards players in the Raptors range. So maybe we can do one video on 3 guards, and just go deeper into them instead of kind of like a wide gamut of like, hey, here's 10 players that are cool, like let's talk about maybe 3 players and why we like them and why we don't like them. YouTube has been pretty aggressive about the copyright strikes and stuff. Not just with us, but actually it's been across all of YouTube. I have a lot of friends who are content creators who are saying like their videos are getting struck down left, right, and center. So, it's a tough time to do video breakdowns, frankly. With the NBA finals happening right now, maybe this is just a time where the NBA is really, really sensitive about their content, even in some small version of their content ending up on YouTube. So I would like to be careful with that too. But we'll definitely do some prospect breakdowns in terms of like, hey, here are like 3 bigs that I think the Raptors could look at. I think overall, I'm pretty happy with where the Raptors are drafting. I'll be curious to see what they can get for Bruce Brown. I don't buy this notion that they are guaranteed to pick up his option, and pretty sure if they do pick up his option that there's a trade lined up, because like it would be pretty underwhelming offseason if you pick up his contract and then just sit there with $23 million on your book, and it's going to burn a hole in your pocket because it's just not worth that. And I can't imagine a team in the league that would see Bruce Brown and say, oh yeah, he's worth $23 million. Let me give up anything of value. And if you're thinking about Bruce Brown for Andrew Wiggins or something of that sort, I mean, the years on Andrew Wiggins' contract are just not worth it. That contract gets really big. It's attached to a player who's really inconsistent. Yeah, he serves a need. Yeah, he might get better. Yeah, he's coming home, et cetera, et cetera. But for the vast majority of Andrew Wiggins' career, he's been very frustrating. And, you could maybe say, hey, we know the kid. We know his parents. We know this. We know that. We understand what's going on with him. And we believe that with RJ Barrett, with Kelly Olynyk here, with other Canadian, players, that he's going to pick up and he's going to buy into this, total defensive role. But I think the Raptors have a bit of a problem where they have like they have 2 players that are in their core 4, frankly, 3 players in their core 4 that don't project as great defenders. Emmanuel Quickley is probably the second best defender in your core 4. That's a really bad thing. Emmanuel Quickley should be your worst defender in your core 4. So that's where I look at guys like Grady and RJ, and I'm like, at some point you might have to pick between these 2 guys. Oak Tree saying Masai will outsmart himself once again with Bruce Brown. Let us hope not. You know, wow. Vegan Grass saying Jonte was in debt from gambling at the start of the season and was encouraged to throw games for certain bets to hit. That sounds strange, given that his brother makes, close to $30 million a year. I can't imagine that any of those bets were so lucrative that he couldn't have gone to his brother and asked. But hey, I mean, if that is the case, gambling is a really scary addiction. I know I've seen people, when I was growing up in government housing, a lot of people, would gamble. I think that was a really big vice that a lot of people shared. And it's one of the biggest reasons why, to this day, I have never agreed to a gambling sponsorship on this channel, because whether I myself, whatever my thoughts about this are privately, I can never be an advocate for it because I know how dangerous it can be for people. So I would never want to think that, because I've seen people lose their lives over this. I've seen people lose their houses, their wives, their children over this. I've seen them lose their life saving over this. It is a very serious addiction. It would be just like promoting sugar or promoting, alcohol or promoting smoking. I'm not going to promote any of those things on this channel. I cannot, in good conscience, even sleep if that is being promoted on this channel. You know what I mean? And gambling companies are really, they're pretty great about, throwing large sums of money at you because obviously you're the product, right? With a gambling app or whatever, you right there, if I get 50 of you to go there, then I'm worth what they're paying me, right? But in order to get the money or to be worth the money to them, I have to put 50 of you at risk of a lifelong addiction to something that I don't think is very easy to quit. It's not good. Um, so yeah, I'm not trying to tell you what to do with your lives. If you're a responsible person or whatever, obviously you're an adult, do whatever you want. But my suggestion is if you don't gamble, don't start. It's not good. The vast majority of people lose a lot of money. And I just don't think it's very good for your mind or your soul. Anyways, if Jonte was straight up about his debt, I wonder if Toronto could have just paid it off. No, Toronto is not allowed to do that. Unless, of course, you mean the city of Toronto. No, like the Toronto Raptors cannot pay off. Oak Tree saying the Bruce Brown jersey number sale must have helped Jonte somewhat. So funny enough, I believe Bruce paid $10,000. That's a terrible, terrible deal for Jonte Porter. I mean, I know he's a super smart guy, so I'm not trying to like throw shade or whatever, but dude, like I'm pretty sure Bruce Brown would have paid at least 40,000, 35,000. You could have negotiated that one up. I'm just saying. Tariq, do you think Scotty can be an MVP candidate next year? I think he can be a top 13, top 14 MVP finish. So I was looking at Vince's career early on, and he had a whole bunch of years where he finished like, I think 13th, 12th, 11th, kind of in that range for MVP voting. I think Scotty could hit that mark next year. He fills up the stat sheet like in so many ways. That's very impressive to voters. When voters see like big numbers, he's a guy who can put up really big numbers, and he's going to be encouraged to do so. There was a Doug Smith report out like a couple of weeks ago or a week ago about like how Scotty's embracing his new role as a franchise captain or whatever. I've been noticing that too. He's currently, off in China. He went to Wuhan. He went to Hong Kong. So he's growing his brand with Nike. He's got a real presence about him. Like he understands. He's a really smart guy. He understands like there are a lot of athletes that are going to mess themselves up, right? There are a lot of athletes that are just going to be in the wrong situations around the wrong people. They're going to be doing the wrong things. They're going to hang out with the wrong people. They're going to trust the wrong people. They're going to trust the wrong advice. Scotty's not one of those guys. Like he fully understands like his entire like place in all of this. He understands the opportunity on the line. He understands the trust that the Raptors have put into him. And I think he's just going to get better, man. I think he's just going to get better. I think, there hasn't really been a program where everything's just been built around him. Florida State was like built with him, but it wasn't built around him. Montverde wasn't built, but like I remember Sharks, Scotty, right? And there was something that Brian talked about in our first interview together where he said, you get a feeling for the type of player someone's going to be when you watch them in Nike EYBL. And who Scotty was with the Sharks, if he can become some version of that in the NBA, then yes, he will be an MVP candidate. He will be a really good MVP candidate. I don't know if he'll ever win an MVP, but he'll do MVP stuff. And by MVP stuff, I mean like he'll probably be like in the 7 to 8, 9 box plus minus range. Right. Yeah. Anyways, I'm out. I hope y'all have a great one. Noble Venom, as always, man. Thanks a lot for the super chat. Really appreciate it. And I'm gonna check y'all tomorrow with the finals preview. I've had a really weird day. I have not eaten. So before this live, I had not eaten for close to 43 hours. I was trying to make it 45 hours. So I went 45 full hours without food. Intermittent fasting and extended fasting, trying to get up to 4 days without food. That would be really cool. Your brain unlocks in magical ways when you don't have food for a long period of time. It's a really interesting thing. Yeah, so I was just trying that out and seeing how that would go. But that being said, I'm probably very unenergetic on this live. So hopefully by tomorrow, I won't be doing it back-to-back days. Probably do it again next week. I was reading up some literature where they talk about how it's good to fast, like do an extended fast, like once every, I want to say like once every 3 months. Are you drinking water? Yes, of course. I drank a ton of water. I drank coffee. I drank tea, and I drank lemon water with spices in it. So that was good and kept me nourished. But yes, Scotty understands the image. Yes. I don't get how the consensus still seems like Cade is better than Scotty. I don't think I know anyone outside of Detroit who thinks that right now. But what is correct is that a lot of people still think that those two are debatable. And I think that that's crazy. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace. And yeah, hit subscribe, like, and all that good stuff. See ya.